Hey everybody, it's Roslyn with Let's Talk Roslyn. Okay, this topic is entitled Your Husband Cannot Make You Happy. Yes, your husband. So I'm married and have been married for almost 30 years. We have 3 kids and 2 dogs now. We just got a puppy not too long ago. So yeah, I have a lot of tips for ladies that are not married yet, that are wanting to be married one day, and the ones that are getting ready to get married. The ones that definitely are married, because in almost 30 years, you learn a lot. Okay, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. But I divert. Getting back to the subject or the topic. Okay. So, what I mean by your husband cannot make you happy is this. Okay. So, when you're in a relationship, right? Sometimes you have couple goals. Okay. And couple goals may be that we're going to do this together, we're going to do that together. We're going to do all these things together. Well, depending on what stage in your relationship you are, or your marriage, year one, year two, this is probably gonna be more for people that's been married maybe 5 or more years, possibly. Because in the first year or two, you probably are doing lots of stuff that you don't want to do because you're trying to be cooperative and you're like, oh, well, I don't like football, but I'm going to watch the football game with you, honey, because you want to watch it and I just want to be right there by you and under you and beside you. And I just like to smell your body scent. All right. Fast forward to 5, 10 years. He's watching the game, and you're like, okay, I'm out. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Right? So, anyway, somewhere for me, it was somewhere between year 15, no, maybe between 12 and 15, that I started thinking about, you know, I think I'm going to start doing some things that I want to do because he don't really want to do them, but I want to do them. So basically, yeah. So I started thinking about them. But when you are a couple, you want to do things as a couple. And if this doesn't apply to you, then, just it doesn't apply to you. But for the people that it does apply to, is very helpful. So basically, I figured out that if I'm the one that would like to take a pottery class, I need to find out when the pottery class is available and go and pay the fee and take my happy wide hips right on down there so that I can learn the pottery. That's what I need to do. So when I did that, I had some guilty feelings about it because I was learning something new that my partner was not learning. So you got to go through all of that. It's just you're growing together. You're in this relationship, and you want to do all the extra things together. Not okay. You're not going to be able to do every single thing together. And the sooner you learn that, the better it will be for you and for your partner. Your partner does not want to do everything that you want to do anyway. Okay? Now, take the pottery class. When you come back, you're going to be super excited and you're going to want to tell your partner about all the stuff you learned in pottery and all the people that were there and all this type of stuff. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. But it is important to have some things separate outside of your husband. Hobbies, friendships, things that you like. It is important. And he also needs to have some things outside of you. You two have so many things that you got to work on together. You do need to have some things that are just for you and some things that are just for him. You need to have that. That's healthy. Um, yeah, you need to have that for a lot of reasons. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to paint with your husband. Um, yeah, trying to rearrange stuff and uh, we just got through doing something very similar, and we were redecorating and remodeling, and so we were trying to do a lot of the stuff ourselves to save money. And another thing, when you guys are trying to redecorate and remodel your house, find some people that can do the work and pay those people, okay? Don't be cheap like we were trying to be cheap and save some money. And if the painters say that, oh, it's going to be $1,200, let them people do that work, especially if they're going to do good work and you got a referral and everything. Let them folks do that work and pay them that $1,200, because when we got knee deep off in it, we then we remembered why we don't paint and why we are not professional painters, okay? We then remembered why. Pay the folks the money, okay? Okay, now I digress, okay? Okay, so basically we were redecorating and whatnot, and it was stuff all over the house, okay? It is one thing if you got one or two rooms in your house cluttered, okay? You got stuff here and there, and that's not a big deal. I'm not one of those nitpicky type of women, you know. You know, if something's out of place, it's out of place. We'll eventually get it cleaned up. I'm more of a cleanup type of stuff on the weekend. You know, give everybody a break during the week. If you left your cup there, or you know you left something there, it's not a big deal. I'm not gonna have a cow. Uh, but when your entire house has stuff all over the place, then it becomes very different. So I guess if the OCD people feel like that, if you leave one cup in the sink, I guess I could kind of understand that a little bit, because we had stuff out of this room for that room and this room for that room. And so what happened was I was like, okay, we're going to just get um the breakfast room, because there's a table we eat in the breakfast room. And then there's a formal dining room where, you know, special holidays and stuff like that. And when we have guests over, if we want to feel fancy or whatever, we eat in the dining room, but not likely. Okay. So the breakfast room is the place where my family eats at together or separate or whatever. So it's stuff all over the tables and then the chairs and everything. So I was like, okay, to get a little bit of normalcy back into everything, let me move all of the stuff off the table and out of the chairs, and get everything back organized in here so that we can at least have this room, you know. So I get all of that. It takes a couple of hours to do that, and I've got my daughter helping me, and I get all of that stuff done, right? And I look up, and my husband was working in the kitchen, and the kitchen is next to the breakfast room. Now keep in mind, the kitchen has got stuff all over the place. The plastic and the tape, the blue painter's tape is taped all over the place and everything. And because the painters, well, we did have somebody do some of it, and we ended up doing the rest of it. But anyway, so it's taped off and all of this stuff, whatnot. So when I felt a sense of accomplishment, okay, because I got one room clean, this dude moves 3, 4 boxes and some other clutter right back into the breakfast room that I had just cleaned up. So, yeah. In almost 30 years of marriage, it's getting ready to be 28, okay? Yeah, I didn't say anything because he was working hard in the kitchen. But what I was thinking to myself is that you should be glad it's almost been 30 years and I'm a lot calmer, because I think I would just shake you up like a milkshake. You have just destroyed this room to make room for the stuff that you're doing. Couldn't you have found another room? Why did you pick this room? This is the only clean, uncluttered room in the house. Why would you do that to me? It's what I'm thinking to myself, you know? But y'all, I was cool, okay? Calm and collected. I was Rosalinda, okay? And I didn't say nothing, you know? I didn't change my demeanor. I didn't change my tone. I was proud of me, okay? I was proud of me. So we kept right on along, working and doing stuff or whatnot. And hours later, before when we were cleaning up the paintbrushes and everything, and I said, "Hey, I got a question." I said, "I think we did some really good work today." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I agree." I said, "I got a question for you." And he was like, "Yeah, what's the question?" I said, when I cleaned up the breakfast room earlier so that, it could be one clean space." And he was like, "Yeah, it looked good." I said, was it a reason why you, let me see if I can, turn this up. Hang on a second. Okay. Well, I'm trying to turn this off. Okay, there we go. All right. People will just call you on Facebook Messenger, just being just disrespectful. I don't know them and they don't know me. And I don't know what you think you gonna say to me. Boy, just bye. Okay, anyway. So, uh, okay, so I say, so what, when you move those things, the items into the breakfast room, he was like, yeah. I said, um, you know that I had just cleaned, that room up and everything, right? And he was like, yeah. He's still not seeing the problem, right? And I said, but you took my clean room away from me. You took it. You took my clean room away. And then he says, "Yeah, it wasn't no other room for me to put the stuff at. His boxes and stuff all over the place. Everything's all over the place." Okay. 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 So I laughed like I'm doing right now. And I said, "I'm so glad for growth. I am." I said, because I wanted to accomplish one room being uncluttered and clean and neat. And I had it, I met that goal for about 10 minutes. And then my partner cluttered it back up. Yeah. So, you know, goals. You have the goals, but in any case, you guys get the moral of the story and everything. Um, there are going to be some things that happen in your partner. Uh, your husband is going to not see a thing wrong with it, and you're gonna be thinking to yourself, "I don't believe he did that." You know what I'm saying? So anyway, getting back to the subject at hand, um, your husband can't make you happy. He is not responsible for your happiness, for one thing. That's something that a lot of married couples get wrong. He's not responsible for your happy. Does having him in your life need to have some happiness? Of course it does. Yes, it does. But if he's not happy, does that mean that you're not happy because he ain't happy? It should not mean that. You need to have some things that make you happy outside of your marriage. And those things could be gardening, it could be a hobby, it could be skating. You could get personal satisfaction because you volunteer with elderly people. Whatever it is, it needs to be something that makes you happy, that you get personal gratification from, and you need to do those things frequently and often as you can, whether it's once a week or twice a week or twice a month. You need to do those things. You do. I decided that I needed to have some me time. And for me, me time was something just, I was sitting there reading, and I read a lot, okay? So I was reading this article, and they were talking about how moms can be burnt out and all this type of stuff. And our oldest son is, in his 20s. So me time did not exist while he was home and growing up and everything. Because I was one of those over the top moms where I needed to be involved in every single thing. If it was going on at his school, I'm there. I'm homeroom mom. I'm this. I'm that. I was that mom. Okay. For all of my kids. So yeah, me time. The first time that I decided that I was gonna have me time, I was gonna go out of town, which, maybe 3 hour drive, right? And I was just going to stay the weekend. Well, I believe I stayed just overnight because it was so foreign to me. So I pack up my stuff or whatnot. I don't even know what to pack because I've never went anywhere just me. Okay? I've never done me time. So it was a brand new thing. But I probably would do a video series on me time because mamas, let me tell you something. Me time is amazing. And even if you take just an overnight, 2 nights is better. Just take the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, come back Monday morning or go Friday night, come back Sunday night or whatnot. 2 nights is better, but if you can just do overnight, that's fine too. When I first did my first overnight me time, when I was driving in the car, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I don't have to look after anybody. None of my kids are here with me. Our youngest daughter was about 9, I think, when I started having some me time. And I did not know what to think. I didn't know how to feel. It was so quiet in my car. I turned the radio off, right? Because I wanted to just hear nothing. So I'm riding, just driving along, and I started thinking after, I guess, about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 18 minutes, something like that. I started thinking of all sorts of stuff. Creative juices started flowing in my head that had not for years. And I realized it's because everything was so, okay, it's time to do this. Okay, now when we get finished with this, it's time to do that. Everything was so scheduled and so planned. And so, even if you're sitting down watching something, you're thinking about the next thing that you're going to do when this show goes off. There's always laundry to be done. There's always some work. There's always something that you need to do as a mother and a wife. It's always something. So you never really have me time. It's a foreign thing. So I'm thinking of all of these things that I need to do and that I can do. And so I get there and I checked into the hotel, and they said, "Is this business or pleasure?" And I said, "Pleasure." "How many people will be traveling with you?" You know, just me. One bed, please. Everything about me time is different. And I'm feeling very weird, okay? I'm going in like, oh my God, I got a hotel room with one bed, okay? I didn't have to ask for extra towels or extra sheets or extra pillows. I didn't have to ask for anything extra because it was just me, right? Okay, so I get in there and I am I put my little bag down, and I'm like, wow. What to do, right? I laid on the bed, and I'm not a big TV watcher, so I didn't watch the TV, but I laid on the bed. I had some stuff to read, and I had my laptop. And I think I took a nap. I took a nap. I called home. I touched base with my husband and my kids. And yeah, I called pretty often because I needed to check in. For me, that was not something that was required. It was for me, for my mental psyche. And I went to one of my favorite stores, which was Sprouts. And they always have the best fresh fruit in there. I love fresh fruit. And I got some fruit. And everything that I bought was too much because it was just me. So I bought a pound of cherry. I think it was 2 pounds. 2 pounds of cherries is too much for one person, right? Because it's just 2 nights or one night. And I got a little piece of cake, and that was too much because everything was too much. But I was giddy, okay? I was putting it in the basket, and I got a fresh squeezed juice that they had, and everything. And I got that stuff, and then I think I stopped someplace and I got some baked chicken or wings or something like that. And yeah, I went back to the room and I put that stuff down. And I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? So I left back out and I went to some stores, and I think I got like some earrings or something like that. I think there were like $6 or $7 that caught a sale. And I was just in the store by myself in another city, another state by myself. And it was surreal, okay? It was amazing. Amazing. The first time that I went someplace by myself, I was 41. No, 42, 42 years old. And I felt like a kid in a candy store, okay? Because I was out and it was just me. Y'all better get y'all some me time. Do you hear me? Get you some me time, because it is amazing. It is a life changer. My goal then became doing a little weekend like every quarter. I did not make that goal. I tried to, but sometimes stuff would come up, or I decided that I didn't want to go. Because another thing about me is this that you guys don't know, but y'all gonna learn lots of stuff about Rosalind. I love, love, love to travel, but I don't like driving on the interstate long distances because people drive like they don't want to live. And it just is not a comfortable scene for me. So I want to go all over the place, but I don't want to drive. And then I don't want nobody to drive me because they drive crazy. Ain't they crazy? Yeah. It is what it is. So yeah, I have, when I come back from me time, I am rejuvenated to the fullest. I started doing other stuff in my me time, which was I would schedule a massage. I would try to do some things differently than I, would do in my regular, just every day around the town that I live in. But it changes, and it just being away and not doing anything. Yeah, I cannot express. I cannot, y'all, take you an overnight trip, even if you go drive like an hour from your house, because you want to be away from your house because you want it to be that you don't have to do anything for anybody except yourself. You are being completely selfish by being selfless. Okay? Or you're being selfless because you're being selfish. However you want to say that. Selfless is what mothers are all the time. But one weekend, one day, you're going to be selfish in that you are going to do nothing but just take care of you. That's all. And if you sleep one weekend when I went out of town, I took a nap. I stopped by and got some food on my way to the hotel, and I just took a nap. And I just slept because I had just a really stressful week before then. I just slept. So, yeah. Do some stuff for you. You are responsible for your happiness. When I started finding my way back to me, because in long-term relationships, you can definitely lose yourself. And any women and men that have been and are in long-term relationships, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You can lose yourself and you will just be existing to help take care of your family. And that's pretty much what you do. And you have gotten good at it and accustomed to it, and you don't take care of you. But you need to start. When you take care of you, you are a better person. You're better for your family. You're better for your spouse. You're better all the way around. You make you happy. No one else but you.